So, welcome to today's stream. Let's send the tweet out. So, hi to today's stream. SpecFlow stream. As the last times, we're working today on our community content submission page further. Quick recap what we did last time. So let's start the application. We changed on the UI stuff. So we have added the email address, the description field for the content. We have now a select box, a combo box. All of these data is saved into the in-memory database, and so on. Also, we added the was too quick. We have also a checkbox for the privacy policy. Yeah, forgot the checkbox. Good. Plan for today is we didn't finish last week, everything. So the privacy policy is still open. In this case, the scenario that if the user doesn't accept the privacy policy, there should be some error messages. This is open, and what's also open is to have some nice success page if it worked. But before we coming to that, let's update our NuGet packages to the latest version. And rebuild everything. Oh, it's still working, okay. Rebuild everything. And see if it works. Yeah, the recording of the last sessions are online on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. I post a link into the chat. We have now a playlist for this whole stream series. No, thanks. No. For the whole stream series. Pause. And what you also have here is I added timecode, so you see the different. You have here the different starting timestamps for the different topics, and you can also see it here. Yeah, as always, all the code is available on GitHub on this project in the community content submission page folder. Everything is here. So let's have a look. Rebuild was successful. Let's start. So 2 packages were from us, from SpecFlow. The third package was Chrome driver for Selenium. It looks like there is a new update of Chrome. You have always to look that you're using a Chrome driver that's compatible with your browser version that you're using. So, looks good. Looks good. All the tests up to until now were successful. The only one that should fail is the privacy policy one. And all the expected output. Cool. So let's commit this. Update packages. Good. So to get this scenario to green, we have to use validation on our web API, and in preparation of this stream, I noticed we're doing some stuff here in our view that's not anymore up to yeah, the current state. So what we are using here are so-called HTML helpers. They are from ASP.NET MVC, from the old one. With ASP.NET Core MVC, they introduced so-called tag helper, where you could produce more HTML-like code, and this is now our first step to transform this to tag helpers that we then can add the validation elements to it easily, that all works together. So it's not complicated. We have here the label, the label, and this is so we have first is this label has an ASP4 acceptor 4 with text URL, and this is an input, and you have this ASP stuff ASP here, and for them we have an input it's a type is text, and the value is model URL, and then we need, so then we don't need this new blah blah blah. We can write ID equals text URL, and also normally the class like normal HTML. So let's change this, and ID equals, so that's complaining session model does not ASP4 model URL that way. So, and let's have a quick look how this is now looking in the browser. Yeah, sorry. So, browser opened on the other screen. So looks the same. Let's see on the generated code. For URL. Okay, here we need to do this different because this is not connected. So tag helpers, label, give me a quick moment, input ASP. You make also input, also an okay, you not value, you say ASP4 URL. Then okay, this is also done here. URL, the properties of the model, nice, and we don't need this anymore. Nice. What is this label? Label requires a closing tag. Yes. It doesn't like this. It wants it that way. HTML is sometimes strange. Sorry. Let's have a quick look on the generated HTML. And somehow this is always opening on the wrong screen. So, type text, name, URL, ID. I think we can. I think we don't need the IDs then anymore because the 4 is generated automatically. But let's change this, the rest of the stuff. So label. How do we now get the ASP4 type? There's already a lot of HTML stuff, so this is now, let's copy this one. And we only need to change this to E. This is input. No, this was. There's an email tab. Cool. This is email. We can remove the ID. The rest is the same. Then we can say here ASP4 email, and we can remove this here. Same for description. So this is again a text. Description that can be removed. ASP4 description. And then we have here the checkbox. That's ASP4 accept privacy policy. So input type checkbox ASP4 accept. We have the class form check input ID so, and we can also exchange the form, and this is nice. So this is nice. So this can be removed, the curly brackets, and you have here the so I have here the normal action. We want a post. It is action. Oh. No, it's method. Method is post. And there are, then you can have ASP controller. You can ASP action. You can define your controller and action where it should be, and it generates automatically the URL where the stuff should be posted. So let's have a look at our HTML. Okay, that's the of the day the browser opens on the different site. Looks good, looks good. Let's also have quickly here email form, type ID. Cool. And what you also get is the anti-forgery token, automatically accept privacy policy. Nice. So let's look if our scenarios are still working, or if we need to adjust our page objects. Good. The first one was green, but this was only the title. So, looks good. Cool. Cool. Everything's still working, so we can commit this refactor from HTML helpers to tag helpers. And if somebody is interested, the documentation for tag helpers is here. Commit. So let's comment, save all the links for the description. Cool. So now we have this here. Let's add validation to our ASP.NET Core application. So validation there are multiple parts in place. The first stuff is that we need some to display the validation in the UI here, and in that case is one of the examples is you have this, you make this span, and also with a tag helper, yes, ASP validation for URL. You have this. So if we look at this, there is nothing there. So it's so we don't see anything because there's no content yet. So this is the validation per field. Let's add this all everywhere here. Email. Description. Let's keep out the privacy. Yeah, let's add it for the privacy policy. Nice. So, and that's the one part. The other part is where do we do the validation. So there's one option is that you can do this on the model of your MVC, so model view controller UV, where we have already here the display name. We can add here validations with different. You can do this with attributes. So there is one thing that's attribute called required. So this has to be there, and we can put this on everything here. So all of the fields are required, and when we now do this, I think this is not yet enough, but let's try. So what should be if you press submit? Yeah, it's still getting called. Everything is null. But what is there is a property on the controller that's called model state, and this has, if you have a look at this, we see here, there we all have the errors. Invalid, and so max allowed errors 200, roots validation state invalid, or is valid is false. And what we can do is we can do if model state is not is valid, we can handle this what do we return in this case? This no. What do we need to add this? Yeah, we return simply the view with the submission model again. So so let's see. Yeah. So what is happening now is let's start. Let's start at the beginning. So when I press submit, everything is posted with the form. We get the submission form, and we check if the validation is valid, and it's not because nothing is filled out. And in that case, we simply return our view for the index with the model. So we make similar to this, but with the same data we already have there, and additionally the when you have, let's have a look at the network. So we're recording, let's submit. We have here our local host. No, this was not. Preserve log. Clear. So once again. So there has to be some site CSS. Yeah. We get the whole, we make the post, we get the post with the request form data. Here is all the form data, and we get back the whole website. And because of the validation, now there's all this validation stuff filled out, and we have our nice error messages here. Good. So the big question is so does this break input for any of our tests? So okay, one is input. Sorry for that. So input for submission page is missing. Oh, so where are we? Here. Input for page is saved. That didn't work because we did not specify everything. So we need an email, example@example.org, and we have a description. Food. This should be now enough. Yes, again it's green. Nice. So we have the first validation there. We can also add, there are different validations. So there is an Also validation that this is an email address. You have a validation for lengths of strings. Where is this? There is a long list on built-in attributes, credit card validation, compare, email address, phone, range, registral expression, required string length, URL. URL is nice. Let's add also URL here. URL. What else do we have? And remote. Remote is that we can ask the server for validation. So the big question is this enough? If I say here required, that this has to be true or not. Let's have a look. No, that wasn't enough. So there's this range type double. Okay, minimum maximum, it has to be within this thing. So you have to give a range where it is. Regular expression. No. Good. Then we need to write our own validation for this. Good. What we can create? Yes, we can. We simply can create a validation attribute and put this here and make this. So let's do this. So infrastructure. So bool has to be true attribute. So this is a validation attribute. We need to implement. What do we need to implement? Okay, we have the constructor. We override the is valid stuff. Override is valid. Good. For the we can create has override is validation. Classic movie attribute. So we don't need a constructor. We have an object value and validation context. So we only need to have the value. So if object is not is null, return this is validation result. No success. A new validation result, and then we can put here has stuff, and this is return. Okay, we are overriding the wrong public, the wrong is valid method. So this was alt insert for resharper, and we want to override this is valid. So that's better. So if value is null, return new validation result. If not value is bool, return new validation result. Brackets here, return new validation result success at the end. Bool value as bool equals value as bool, and what we could do is bool cast value to bool, and if value as bool equals false, then we still have also an error. So value is now do we get subject instance, get error message, value has to be true. Let's make it easy on the first run, and then let's see how we can. It's better. Let's already make a breakpoint here. So we have the bool has to be true attribute, and that we can put here now. Bool has to be true. Let's build it, and let's debug it to see what's happening. So submit. Our attribute is called. Value is false. Cool. And the validation context, what do we get here? Display name. Member name. Accept privacy policy. Okay. Privacy policy object instance. Okay, and so on. This is not null. It is bool. We cast it to bool. It's false. We return. This is invalid. Let's see what value has to be true. Okay, cool. And I know how we can make this better. So we move this error message to the constructor because it's a generic validation attribute. We replace this with error message everywhere. And then we can, in the model here, we can specify the message, and this has to be then you must accept the privacy policy to submit. Yeah, privacy policy. Exclamation mark. We should also link to the privacy policy. So this one is, as always, at the end of the screen. Read more. Privacy policy. So where do we want input tab label? Where do we want to put this? Again, if you have questions, please ask them in the chat and I will answer them. So we should probably do this here. Question is, does privacy policy, does this work that we href put this here in the string. I'm curious. Does this work? If it's no, it doesn't work. It does encoding probably. Elements. It does because in a string that doesn't work. Would have been nice. Yeah, but in that case, let's get this out of the display name and put it on the HTML directly. So we have the label and put this here. And let's see what's happening. Yeah, nice. And with a click, you get to the privacy policy. Nice. So we added now a validation. We tried it manually. Is this test now green? Let's hope so. Yay! And before you're completely happy, let's check that every scenario is green. So looks good. Look, okay. There's an input. Yeah, okay. Some are failing. So entered values from submission boxes failed and input from submission boxes failed. And I think both of them are, yeah, because of the checkbox and entered. So where is this happening? Again, the field out. So with Control Alt Shift and S, you can go back from the bindings to the scenarios, and this is used in these scenarios. Input from submission page is saved and entered values. These are the two what are failing. So in this case, that's good. Let's see, where is this? Is this method somewhere used? Okay, this is 2 times used. In rows from that binding, and the submission entry form is filled. Where is this? It does not accept. Okay. But this is now we have the anti-privacy policy accepted. So we need to do this in the given and also here. I was first thinking to do this in the binding, but because we have this reuse, it's not possible. I think it's also good to make this explicit in the scenario, to write there, okay, you have to accept this privacy policy. Nice, everything is green. So cool. So short recap what we did. First, we added the validation to the view. Validation to view. Then we added the validation to the model, to the submission model. That were the attributes here, and we created custom validation for the privacy policy. So this is our bool has to be true attribute. Nice. So, and if it's true, no, it's not, it's triggered, but we should then have finally again a green CI build. That's nice. Cool features. Let's no, yeah. To trigger a CI system, we have to push it. So, pushing up to GitHub. It's here. And it's already running. So this should be finished in some minutes. So back to our scenario. So we have the validation for everything. That's cool. So what I want to do now is we have this, then the submitting of data was possible and what's not possible steps. And currently we are certain that if there is data in the database, and you saw before, let's let's move this. Now this works. This one, this entered. You saw the error message. We got only the error message that sequence contains no elements. So yeah, that's nice, but doesn't help us at all. Then there is following data. That was, well, also, yeah, with the following data we expect one, and we got something similar before we did this down there. Let's quickly remove again the where is our controller models. Don't need to required. Let's remove this quickly and I'll show you again the error message. Also, the sequence contains no elements. It's not a nice error message. Wrong scenario. Also still running. So the expected database context submission address count to be 0 but found 1. This is yeah, not the nicest error message, and I would like to have this nice. Also that the application is nice. And the idea is that we have, in the case everything worked, we show a different view. And for that, it's simple. So where's our controller? At the moment, we make a redirect to action index and display as empty submission page, but we want to redirect to a different action now. Success this is an HTTP get stuff, and what we do is return new view. No, only view. And create, no, not new, only view. And then we can create a new view. Oh, it's not here. Right. View. So you can remove this error, all this, and yeah, and we can make here, let's make a span, make a page 1, submit of community content was successful. Yeah, this is enough. And yeah, return successful. So what does this look like? So https example.org and the example description. We want to check this submit. Yes, yes. And we get to a new page with this text. Nice. If we would have error. Yeah, we removed except this, so we don't get there. Cool. Let's make here also a link back. Submit another one, and this is there an SP? Action in it. Does this work also for hyperlink? Yeah, let's see if this works. If this is that way, these text helpers are cool. So I can't write here stupid things because it's not an valid email address. Also the URL, so that's nice. And is the link? The link is correct. Nice. These tag helpers are cool. So, but as we have now a different method and action on the controller. We can check the URL. So what we can do is now we know that when it's successful, it's on the success view, and if not, if it wasn't a successful, we are staying the same. So we can change this assert, and this let's try this. This is so what we need is, I think, in the browser driver we have the title. Yes. So we need the browser driver. importing of data was possible. So this is the browser driver assert title, expect the whole title. What we need is not the title in that case, sorry. We need the URL. So make a public string URL get. So we can make it. This is the WebDriver URL. Can also change this to expression body. So and now we have here the URL, and then with our fluent assertion should end with success. And in that case should not end with success. So let's run this again. We are quick today. Really quick. Yeah, so expected not to be end with success. Let's we can formulate this more because the input form page should be displayed again. Let's have a look at how it's now there. Expected browser driver URL not to end with success because the input form page should be displayed again. And should be, there we can say because the success page should be displayed. And let's fix again, enable this here, and let's run all these. Three already green. And eight. 9 and 10. Everything correct. Nice. So no changes. Add success page after data was submitted successful. Yes, so what we did is, so we added this new view, and in the controller it's stupid, doesn't do anything, only displays this view with some information. We fixed the model that required is not needed anymore. Why there is modifying stuff, I don't know. What's the difference? white space. And what we also did is we changed our way how we assert that the submitting was possible on the URL and not on the database. So push this up, and yeah, the last round was successful. So we can have a look at the tests. All were successful. You can see here everything. And we should also have here in the attachments, what is the report? That's the log file, that's the report. Nice report from the SpecFlow Plus runner. Cool. So, we are faster than I thought. With today's stuff. Let's have a look what we can improve also. Good, we have the, okay, we could make the header nice, that's not needed. We have, okay, here the privacy policy needs to be changed. The header footer, yes. Yes, and we have the here and double, so make some quick UI fixes. So this is in the home. There we have label. The double quote, and then in our view start in shared layout. So we have here this whole navbar container. So copyrights and SpecFlow, community, content submission page, and this is not an. This goes also to the privacy policy here. Privacy policy. So then we have here the menu. Do we need the menu? What's happening? How does it look like if we remove this or everything of this? Okay, this is a little bit too much. That's a little bit boring. So we let keep the nav element. There's the home index. Then we have toggle navigation button, and I think we don't need this anymore. Yeah. That's the right stuff. Cool. So, and that was this. So what is good. So okay, we need to change this here. This the down looks good. So this is the SpecFlow community content submission page. Let's add an image to it. Let's quickly get the SpecFlow logo. SpecFlow logo. Yeah. We have it as SVG. And yeah, let's take it as an SVG. Open file browser here. SpecFlow logo. And let's put it here in the image source. Content. So is this enough? Yeah, okay. A little bit big. Height 60 pixel. Better. One thing I'm irritated is we have the image and then we have this. And why is this on the right side? Now, doesn't look bad, but why is it color? Margin right. Border box, that's okay. Font weight, this is all. Colors, font. No idea, but it looks good. Nice. And because it's in the master, in the layout, we have this also in our success page. So quickly do this HTTPS example org and the example org blah. I accept. Okay. Okay, the image did not work here. Good that we checked this. So, yeah, success, we are in a home, not different. So, this is now slash. Is it only slash to go from the root away? So home success. Yeah, better. Now the stuff was correctly. So this That's bad. Thank you for your community content submission. Better. Nice. So let's commit this. Small UI fixes. So one thing I noticed what we also missing is the cancel button. So there is often a reset button. Reset, and this is the classes from Bootstrap, and let's make it a button, and it's a button secondary. Nice. So if we write here something and press the reset button, this is reset. And this is something we could also write as an error for it. Nice. So let's remove this once and start with the scenario. Feature content submission. So this is already long. Let's split this up first. So let's make a new feature file. This is for the privacy policy. We can remove this and remove all this, because accepting the privacy policy, this is with GDPR, this is something that could happen. That you added this new feature. Then let's make a new feature for the content submission page. So stuff that's relevant for the page. So the title. This is for the title, that this is set. And then then we have the feature. Then we have the submitting submission. These are all the scenarios where it's about submitting. So that all the input is saved and then the entered values are. And what we have left is the types and the stuff, and that we could move also in the page here, because this is what we get displayed on the page. So what we have now is more structured here, but we have still our 10 scenarios and this empty feature file, so that can be removed. So then we stage these things, split up single feature file in multiple. Nice. So, and now we can write here, because this is on the page. Right, then you add a new scenario. So, and we want to scenario that a form is reset. Form should be reset after clicking reset button. We are on the submission page. given, and the submission form is filled. That's some stuff. And the privacy policy is accepted. When the form is reset, then every input is set to its default values. So how do we do that? So let's first, when the form is reset, this is our button press. Click. So this is our submission web page driver reset form. And for that we need again our submission page object. And there is a submission page object, and how did we do the submit form? We have click submit button, so the click reset button. And this is a reset button reset button click. So now we need the reset button. Where is the reset button? There's the submit button. We can make it here a reset button, and this is our button secondary. That's the reset. So let's have a look how this looks like. So content submission page form should be reset. Let's run these. So this time it's the last time we're working on this example with a page object. Next time we have something special. Next time I will pair together with Automation Panda, Andrew Knight. And we will refactor this example from page object to screenplay pattern. Screenplay pattern is a nice, cool. It's an evolution on the page object pattern, and we will do this together with his. He created a new a library boa constrictor, and we will refactor to this. So, but back to here. So the test wasn't working because we didn't find the element, because I commented them out. And yeah, we saw it quickly that it worked, but yeah, this doesn't work because we need to implement the last one. So submission page. Submission page driver. Check default values. So this is, again, we need our page object. So, and we need now submission page object. So the URL should be null or white space. No, should be empty. Be empty. Then we have the type, and this should be and when I remember correctly, it was this, no, index blog posts. Then we have the submission page object. The email should be empty. The submission page object description should be empty. And the submission checkbox privacy policy value selected should be false. So let's make here a type null, and let's see that we see that the test is failing. So let's run this. And you see it should be with a length, but blog post has expected to be blog post, but it's blog post. So let's fix this. And it's green, nice. We have also automated this one. So let's run this and check this up on. So all is running, looks good. So, and all 11 are green. Nice, 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 nice. Good. Add scenario, add reset button to form. Nice. Cool. What else could we do? Let's have a look. Let's have a look a little bit on the classes, if you can refactor this something. Okay, there we have still. Let's thanks to ReSharper, we can move all the types into folders in their separate files. So we have here the type name, entry, web page steps, expected submission content entry. So web server driver, web server driver, web server driver. Okay, we don't need this. Good. We can remove this. We can fix the naming. Let's make some quick refactorings. So this is also ReSharper Ctrl EF. Okay, it doesn't open anything because there's nothing to do. but reformats the whole file with your styles that you configured. Okay. We can do this also here. Nice. So this is our big page object. This is let's see if we can do this. Is the input entry. Our hooks. Starting the web server. And stopping web server. Driver. Web driver. The submission page driver. Okay, let's make some quick code styling adjustments. Okay, browser driver. Good. Let's build everything. We have some warnings, messages, nothing awesome if we do a rebuild or nothing. So good, then let's commit this. A small code styling changes. So let's see our big page object if we can do anything here. So what could we do now here to make this smaller? Do we need everything here is the big question. So this is protected, this is protected, this is protected. This is, we only have one reference. Yeah. What we could do is we move this method out of the class. Ctrl R O. We can make this static. And then we have to give him the state within it. First replace this with that. But yes, let's make, can we make a parameter out of this? Nice. Change signature. What we can do is we can now easily adjust here the order, and then it's refactored everywhere else. And then we can make this first public and then static. And then we can move this out and another class, and this is the page object helper. So we can remove this, move to another file, and have it in a separate file. Nice. So a little bit smaller. So could make these two expression bodies. To make some less lines. These two lines we could make, yes, we could make a method out of this and set text input and yes, but we make out of this a parameter. Let's use parameter replace. Yes. We can again change the signature. Nice. What is complaining here? The expression body, yes. Now we can do this also here. We make set value. Make this to an expression body. And we can also make this here. Expression body, nice. And now we could do like the other one, make it static and move to another type, and this is the page object helper. Huh? Okay. Then let's do it manually. Okay. So it's the page object helper. So nice. Getting shorter and shorter. So well, web element will we could do here value. We could do here more. So let's check that everything is still working. Looks good, looks good. Nice, everything is still working. So let's check this in before I destroy everything. Good. So my idea is, so we have this input element, enter page object, and we flatten them here. What about removing all these here? So we have the input, we have here. What do we need? We have here then the label and the public string label. This is label web element dot text, and we have public string value. With get is value web element dot text, and set equals set input. That's the page object helper. Set text input value web element value. Value web element. Then it's only value web element text. Yeah, this is the we need the statement body text, not clone clear, the web element dot clear, and value web elements send keys value. So now we have it. Nice. And now we could do, so where do we have this URL? Where are you using this? This would be URL input entry dot value. And this would be URL input entry dot value. How does this look like? So let's also do it. Not type, email, description. So this, then we don't need this here anymore. Also email and description we don't need anymore. Nice. So this label, this is then URL input entry label. Type in type select entry label email input entry label description input label. So with that we can remove all these. Nice. It's getting shorter and shorter. So still, this is still working. It's still everything green. That's the big question. Looks good, looks good. cool, everything still here. So the one thing where we have this binding of the input, the web element should not be null. So what do we do with the web element? We call this, we make a try get input entry, and this is when it's null, we fire an exception, and this is there, and then we have the value web element, and so Okay, we could do this. Okay, we can simplify this. So we can also remove these. This is then the URL input entry, value web element should not be null. Value web element, email value web element, description value web element, and so these are not anymore needed, and here the value element is, if this doesn't find it, it throws no such element exception. But let's make here also a try catch, try no such element exception. I don't care, in that case we return null. Not the best. Yeah, this can be null. Let's make it nice. Okay, this is not everything. Nice. So cool. So this removes these lines. So where's this type web element? Still select element for this. Select element for this. We need this type web element. But we can get this also with type, select entry, value web element. And then we don't need this anymore. Nice. So we have some narrow problems. Yeah, we can remove this whole method. We don't need this anymore. And then we have here a null. Yes, this can be null, and okay, that's okay, that's a little big. So use conditional access. No. Check expression for null. Use non-propagation. No. If submission privacy policy web element is null, throw new exception, can't accept privacy policy because the checkbox is missing. And we can do the same stuff here. Can't not can't decline because the checkbox is missing. That's the same. So run all the tests. Good, the firsts are getting green, that's always nice to see. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. Cool. So our submission page object is now a lot smaller. We only have here now the type with the select stuff. We could make this intelligent. So we could intelligent. We can save as private bool is select equals false. So that's not how do I, so what I wanted to do is, if this is successful, I set it to, this is false. If this successful is, I set it to true. This isn't that easy possible. So yeah, what we could do is we make a variable element, and we say is select is true. So and now we can make this if is select else. So in case it's not a select, we make the normal blah 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 stuff, the clear and send keys. If it's select, we take this and make a select by name, and I think the same we need to do with the getter. So if is select else. So let's make this div, no, if is select else. Yeah, I know your shop is not happy, but this is it looks the same. So now we don't need, so we can change this. This is then also the type select entry value, and this is the type select entry value should be. So, and remove this. Nice. Let's run them again. Okay, email we broke something. Interesting, type worked. Okay, another broken one. I'm curious. Okay. So what happened? Invalid element state input. Invalid element state. What? Unable to locate what? Okay. What? So let's debug this. So where are we? We are on the here. We fill it out. We select which one do we select? The URL. We select is false, yes. And that worked. We select is false. We are in the type. We're in the type, so okay, yes, this doesn't work here. So why are we? Because this is wrong, because this is our input. Check. Oh, no. I mixed up. The checkbox and the stuff. Okay. I mixed up, but this is correct. So value web element. If value web element, what do we have here? Tag name. No, doesn't work. Get property. That's the type. No, we can use the tag name. Tag name equals select. So see if this works. I switched checkbox and combo box. That's the first. Okay. This wasn't triggered. Is it now triggered? Okay. Okay, this is okay. Complete. Okay, that's a chicken egg problem. This is all not possible. So this is here, and this is here, and this is then the value web element tag name equals select. And this can be null. So nice. And you're here. Okay. And green. Nice. So close the Chrome drivers. Probably there are some other Chrome drivers still running. Yes. Always. So again, let's run all of them. And then the time is over again for today. Let's see, okay, we are cutting further than the last time. 7 green. Good, everything is green. Nice. So, and what we did now is, so we have now, yeah, we get it on one screen with this big zoom factor. That's nice. So we have our page object here on the screen. What we did is we moved a lot of intelligence into the input entry page object, but this is okay because we have now a page object for this, for the whole form, and then for every one of these divs we have our own page object. It's called page object, but yeah, you can make layers out of them. Cool. So make page submission page object a lot smaller. Cool. So let's push this up. That's everything is there. If you want to have a look at the code for yourself, As said, so this application now we're finished with it. We implemented all the features. So this is the end of the ASP.NET core testing series with Selenium. Next and Selenium page object. Next week we have Automation Panda at the stream, and we both work. We refactor this to the screenplay pattern model with his boa constrictor GitHub library. It's the screenplay pattern. That's what we are doing next time together with him. Yeah, Automation Panda, Andrew Knight, and after that the next topic will be API testing with REST Shop and other libraries. Let's see. Good. Let's last thing we do. Let's check that our CI build is green. Where is our CI build? So pipelines, CI. It's still running. Okay, but I'm pretty sure, as all is locally running, famous last words, that it's also running in the CI build. So I hope you had fun. Yeah, and have a nice day, have a nice weekend, and we see us next week. Bye.